what if I told you that after more than 10 years of shouting want to buy 1 Chaos or 1 Alchemy in trade chat, trading in Path of Exile 1 might finally become easy in 3.27? Or at least that's what I was going to say until PoE dropped this. Yeah, managed shop. So, funny thing, it's Wednesday night here. In approximately 24 hours, PoE is releasing the news for the upcoming league. And when I wrote, recorded, and had almost finished editing this video about a week ago, this little teaser didn't exist yet. So, about that. It was supposed to be a simple theory piece, but then Grinding Gear Games dropped the teaser out of nowhere, and here we are. I was debating whether or not I should post this video, but I decided to go ahead anyway. The teaser itself was meant to showcase the instant passive tree reset and Atlas passive tree reset, yet the thing that everyone noticed was the little manage shop button that you can see here on the screen. And let's be honest, that pretty much screams asynchronous trading coming in 3.27. Of course, nothing's official until Grinding Gear Games, so in the reveal, but this is basically as close as we get as a confirmation. So yeah, turns out the dab prophecy I had aged like fine wine, but instead of me talking about teaser and everything itself, there are plenty of videos going over that teaser. I'm going to share what I had already prepared and basically let the tape roll back for the past week. So yeah, enjoy. Back to the past me. Greetings, exiles and foodies. Today we're diving into the story of why I think asynchronous trading in PoE finally makes sense, how the timing lines up with it being implemented in PoE 2, and what this could mean for the future of PoE 1. But before we start, quick disclaimer. Nothing here is confirmed by Grinding Gear Games. This is still speculation and analyzes a proper boomer shift that prophecy based on timing, development clues, my real world experience from working in IT companies, and a bit of common sense. So let's dive into it. For years, trading in Path of Exile wasn't just inconvenient, it was philosophically inconvenient, so to say. Chris Wilson, one of the founding creators of Path of Exile, firmly believed that trading should be filled. He wanted friction, scarcity, and decision making. If you couldn't instantly buy something, every drop felt more valuable, every trade would feel more rewarding. And honestly, in 2013, that was a brilliant design choice. It made the world feel gritty and player-driven. But in 2025, that friction doesn't add immersion anymore. It just adds wasting time, spamming bots, spamming trade bots, hitting a limit of whispering too many players and having to wait 60 seconds to buy that 1 Chaos item, and basically made an AFK wall between you and the fun part of the game, which is playing it. Now, even if Grinding Gear Games wanted to make trading easier prior to this, most likely they simply couldn't. Now, I'm not a data scientist or developer or anything, but hear me out. Path of Exile 1's backend is most likely ancient in some regards. It's a masterpiece of duct tape and dreams, every item, every mod, every whisper, all running through systems that were never designed for modern automation. Now I say this out of pure speculation, because when Grinding Gear Games began developing PoE 2, they essentially had to rebuild a ton of stuff from scratch up. And that gave him the perfect chance to solve the problems that held back PoE 1. Now that the infrastructure exists for PoE 2 that was built up, we're already seeing part of it being shared across both games to PoE 1 and from PoE 1 to PoE 2. So asynchronous trading isn't just some random experiment, it's a natural evolution of the technology they built for PoE 2 already, which could be then securely implemented now for PoE 1. And we can't ignore this timing. With Chris Wilson stepping away from Grinding Gear Games' day-to-day leadership, the team suddenly has room to rethink some of the old sacred cows, let's call it that. But let's be crystal clear first. This isn't criticism of Chris in any regards. Chris helped build the foundation of everything we love about Path of Exile, but he also represented the challenge first philosophy, friction as a design. Now, with mainly Jonathan and Mark at the helm, the leadership seems more interested in accessibility without compromise, making a ton of quality of life improvements, and making trading smoother doesn't make PoE easier in my opinion. It makes it playable for more people. Now, my theory is that Grinding Gear Games most likely had asynchronous trading ready for PoE 2 for a long time, almost from the get-go, but there's one thing they knew. The second they implemented asynchronous trading for PoE 2, their player base, us, the players, Exiles, would scream like madmen. Until it came for PoE 1, going, oh, but why can't they implement it for PoE 1 when they have it in PoE 2? So, what I think that most likely held it back was the code in PoE 1. They had to make sure items didn't duplicate, multiple people not getting the same item, people not bugging it and getting a ton of currency they shouldn't get, and so on and so on. Basically, a ton of testing and bug fixing. And when you're talking trading, you also need to talk about bots. But with the implementation of currency trading, I believe they limited that. And with the gold cost of trading, this was partly to keep bots out. And now that it's tested on currency, they're finally ready to implement it with items. So finally, when GGG were finished with the development of asynchronous trading for the infrastructure for PoE 1, they were finally able to implement it what they had already lying around for PoE 2. And it just made so much sense that the new game PoE 2 and the new code, of course they would get it first. And now it was a strategical decision to delay it, and now here 1 week later we might see it for PoE 1. Now, if I'm right and if the system really lands, what changes? For one, I think the market will stabilize a bit faster. With that said, what do I mean with that? I basically mean some of the mid-tier Unix like Rislava's Coil, for example, for physical builds will more likely be cheaper faster. The Darkness Enthroned will most likely drop way faster in price. So in that regard, prices will most likely settle a bit quicker than normal, but maybe, who knows? I'm not an economy expert or anything. There are so many people that's way better than me at predicting that in the game. But what I hope mostly is that you will be able to make some of those niche builds again, because some of the gears that might be quite unobtainable before will maybe finally be obtainable. So yes, of course there will be flippers and there will be bots if they implement such a system, but GGG will most likely have some new tech to help them with item verification system to control that. So to wrap it all up, I think that the Chris Wilson philosophy built Path of Exile, but evolution is most likely necessary, and that's why I hope that asynchronous trading might come for PoE 1. If it comes, and if it drops in 3.27, we'll most likely be witnessing the biggest return of players well ever seen in Path of Exile. But what do you think, Exiles? Will easier trading make PoE feel better, or do you secretly enjoy just spamming whispers at the night? So drop a comment down below, give the like button a push in case you want more divine orbs to drop for you, and as always, stay safe and stay sane, Exiles.